So the floor is open for anything. Yes, Jennifer.
Yes, hi. One of the things I find is when when you stop and you try and figure out what's going on right now, and for instance, you brought up your situation and you said, I recognize that it was fear. And I feel like that's always the answer. It's always fear.
It does tend to be there a lot.
I mean, the only other thing
Shame
is
sometimes too.
sadness.
Yeah.
What did you say, shame?
I see shame sometimes too, but
But isn't shame fear?
it is in a social way. Fear there's something wrong with me.
Right.
Yeah.
So if it's always fear, you were talking about different states, so you could look at a state of, I mean, so what do you do with that? Okay, you recognize that you're in fear, which it almost always is.
Yeah.
And do you just recognize that this is something to sit with, or that can you change it to a state of love, or what do we do with that?
Yeah. What I'm suggesting tonight, anyway, is to drop down and feel it in the body.
Hmm.
Yeah. To just spend some time with it in the body. So it's one thing to recognize it. Yes, this is fear. And then to just let it be felt for a while. Because the mind wants to jump to a solution, you know. And there are practices, where people kind of practice like switching their thoughts and, generating loving thoughts or safety. There's various things that people can do. But what I'm talking about tonight is kind of the very most basic kind of just meet it. And it's helpful when you meet it if you're kind of fully there. And it's an odd thing that we as human beings can kind of meet ourselves this way, like fully show up for what we're experiencing. And that's different than just kind of enduring. And usually there's a heart quality to it when you fully show up. It's like, and you've heard me say the phrase, this is suffering. It's such gold in terms of actually making my whole being show up in that moment to say, this is suffering. And then there's a heart quality to it.
So as to not judge it.
Not judge it. Yeah. Part of fear is this egoic sense that we're supposed to somehow manage ourselves such that everything turns out right and we should never have to be afraid, which is a crazy thought. But it's part of what makes us so afraid. It's part of what makes there so much panic arise in life because we feel this pressure to somehow be able to know everything that should be done and how to deal with everything and even how to not be afraid. And so it kind of steps right through all that to just kind of drop right into the human experience of fear and the suffering of it.
So when you did that today, if that's what you did, uh,
Mhm.
do you just sit with it to be with it and then let it dissipate, or what's the end goal? To show up with your heart and be
Yeah, I
yourself?
think the goal, the the goal that I aim for is to just show up and know this experience as it is right now. If I have a goal that is beyond the experience, like a future goal, there's a way that I don't fully show up in that experience, because I'm kind of hedging my bets. I'll be with you if this will take care of the problem, you know,
Mhm.
and that I have discovered doesn't work. But What does work, and it's a paradox, is when you just show up for yourself in, say, this moment of fear. And it's not about making it a problem to overcome. Something relaxes of itself. Something feels met and relaxes of itself. And it can sense if you're not genuine. This is what's amazing about our system, this psyche that we are, is how it can sense when we are pretending to be patient with ourselves. It can sense that.
As I always think, when I have a challenge or a situation, I don't always do this, but oftentimes, or if I'm listening to somebody else, I'll think, I know the answer. It's fear. Okay, so that's what it is. But I'm not really present with it. I'm just,
Exactly. That's just an answer in your head.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not really present with it. And to be present with it, you have to be in the body with it. You have to snuggle up with it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. There's a in internal family systems, which is the psychotherapy modality that I use primarily. Um, there's a question that you ask yourself that's just wonderful, which is, how do I feel toward this? You know, so you can ask, how do I feel towards my fear? Oh, I hate it. I just want it to go away. Well, there you go. There's like this moment of honesty. And then you can actually turn towards that in you that hates it and wants it to go away. Be with that, you know. Anyway, I thought I'd share that little diagnostic question. So, Lisa, go ahead.
So this is, I think what I'm bringing up here is repetition of what we're talking about, just with a little change of if it's not fear, then maybe pain. So going through the meditation tonight, we're noticing places that feel good or parts of our body that we might not appreciate how it's feeling in that moment, right? But accepting it, being with it for how it is. This is how it is, and accepting it. And I find my mind saying, for example, if it's like my shoulder blade that's feeling sharp and I notice it, my mind says, well, if I move, it might feel better.
It's got a plan.
If I shift, oh, I just need to move like this. I just need to stretch. So I'm grappling with that in my meditation. Like,
Yeah,
well, you can sit with this. And there were moments where I got into that state and it did everything kind of dissipated and it did relax itself.
interesting.
But then I'm saying, okay, so it's just sort of confusing a little bit in
Yeah.
that regard, because you want to do something, but
I mean, meditation is it's such a clever trick
yeah,
because you're learning something about causality and causal relationships here. That, when there's pain in the body, the clever mind wants to think of what you're going to do about it. If I move here, if I move that, so forth and so on. But what also can happen is when you are just present and kind of sink into it, something solves itself. It's like when that doer subsides, because the doer it's like an energy in the mind. We think it's us, but it's an energy in the mind, and it can subside. That need to do anything can subside. And when it subsides, it's interesting to see then what
yeah,
that in turn leads to. And sometimes pain unravels. Sometimes things start to unravel of themselves when that doer subsides.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, then it subsides. And then the doer says, how did I do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was momentary. There were these
Yeah.
moments that I noticed where, oh, wow, everything is so relaxed. And then as soon as I felt like, well, I didn't shift, maybe I still need to shift, then it all started coming back.
There you go. There you saw the causal relationships. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
moment to moment.
the doer, the egoic mind or the doer, um, it wants to know, it believes that this change could only happen because it did something. And it wants to know how to do it again because it wants to be able to control it, because that's what our doers are anxious about. Am I capable of delivering to Lisa everything that she wants to experience in life, all pleasure and no pain? Okay. And if I do that, I'm an effective ego. And if I don't do that, I'm in an ineffective ego, and it's
Yeah.
bad. So there's this kind of good, bad thing going on all the time inside of us. And what you noticed was what does experience become like when that just subsides? The doer. And the
Yeah.
doer can't quite get it. It notices, hey, good things happen, but
Mhm.
it doesn't quite get that it happened because it relaxed rather than it got in there and did something. And it's the power of what is. If you actually just aim for what is, it
Even a
helps the doer to relax. You asked something's calling your attention. All right. Yeah, it helps the doer to relax if we just aim for what is.
thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Much.
All right, Donna, go ahead.
Yeah, I have kind of a similar experience as you, Lisa, except around anxiety. This really the last couple of weeks in this class has really been helping me, and therapist has been helping me, and I guess I've been helping myself too. But I'm having surgery on Thursday, and there's just been a lot of anxiety, and so I've been trying to really drop in and notice it, and I was reading a book by Thich Nhat Hanh. I think it's called You Are Here, and he had some really very simple instructions in there that resonated a lot with this class. And so when I notice I'm anxious, when I'm meditating, whatever I'm noticing, it could be that doer. When I'm anxious, immediately I'm into problem solving, like my mind might go off on who am I going to call? What am I going to do? All the checklist things. Or I notice my stomach getting tight. Um, and I think the instruction was something like, I breathe in, I'm here for my anxiety. I breathe out, I smile at my anxiety. And I just got into, a few days of meditating like that. And it really was a way of just sitting with it, right? Like, because if I mean, I guess I was actively trying to sit with it, which might be different than what you were trying to say earlier about with Jeannie, but it really does in those moments when I'm just trying to be nice to it or compassion, right? Be compassionate. Thank you, anxiety, for reminding me how important my health is to me. Or, like it's really helped a lot. And now I'm thinking that when I walk in the doors on Thursday, I'm going to try and shine a light of love. And maybe that whole place will look different to me, and it won't feel like these people don't want to hurt me. Like they really don't. And so it's just been very, very helpful to really not try to fight it, or fight it or engage it in that doer way. Um, but like Lisa, what you were saying with pain, um, it can be a moment, right? It can be a brief moment where you notice yourself relaxing, and I think it's just coming back and doing those moments
The
over
pain,
and
the silly
over.
alarm was going, but the pain in this meditation
Oh,
I think she didn't know.
oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Whatever alarm you have.
The pain was coming and going moment to moment,
Yeah.
and I was just watching it and feeling it coming and going. And it was crazy because when I'm not really attending to it, I think it's there all the time. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know what alarm's going on in my house. I'm sorry. I'm gonna sit with it though.
Yeah, we can't hear the alarm. You can hear the alarm, but
Oh, you can't hear it?
I don't hear an alarm.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, it's
Yeah.
rather loud.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's, yeah, moment to moment. It felt like it's moving, but then if somebody were to say to me, "How does your shoulder blade feel?" I would say, "It hurts all the time, 24/7." But it's not really the truth of it. And it's okay anyway. Like for it to be like that. Like I was thinking in the meditation, so what? Like that's okay. That's what's there. So it just kind of felt very different during
Yeah.
the meditation, the pain.
It hurts one moment at a time. Rather
Yeah.
than what the mind does is it creates this thing called pain that lasts 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
right? And suddenly you're experiencing the idea of it being there 24 hours a day in a different way. It's a different kind of affliction.
Which can bring up that anxiety, right?
Mhm.
Like, oh, this pain is here, it's going to stay forever.
It's going to stay forever. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thought. Sorry.
Pain is a powerful meditation teacher. It is. But you can discover what you've just named, which is a powerful discovery. All right. Donna, let's go back and
No, I think I said what I wanted to say. Just,
again.
it just how helpful it's been, and it allowed me to notice it in a way, sitting with something without trying to change it really, really well. So,
Right. And
and
Thich gave your mind something to say.
yeah, the words
Point you to the
helped.
present moment. Yeah.
Yeah, the words helped, because I think when I mean, I've been really anxious, so somehow I grounded myself in the words, and I do like this idea of, you do see what you're shining the light on, and I need to try shining out some love.
Yeah.
And actually even shining in some love. Like, okay, I love you, anxiety. You're trying to.
Yes, it's something that is there because it loves you. It doesn't want bad things to happen to you, whatever, it imagined that to be.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Good. Jim.
This is about something I'm living with. It's about my wife. It's about months of insomnia, anxiety, nausea, and everything that she's tried just doesn't work.
Yeah.
This all started when her good friend was dying and then died.
Mm,
Um, and now and there was great fear there. And now she has a great fear of going to sleep.
mm,
Um, she's taken a couple of medications. It gets her to sleep for an hour or two. She wakes up,
yeah.
maybe, and then can get maybe another hour, but she's exhausted.
Yeah.
So I'll talk to her about what you talked about tonight.
Good.
Um,
And to drop down into her body with the question, what is she feeling?
what is she feeling when she drops down into her body?
And what are you feeling?
What do you feel?
Both as sensation and emotion.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it sounds just from what little you say, there's fear there.
great fear
Yeah. Of falling asleep now.
of falling asleep. Yes.
Really? Really? I mean, each time we fall asleep, we let go of consciousness. It's a little like dying.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. It's why, having a grandchild, I see like all of the hullabaloo around children sleeping and getting them to go to sleep and rituals to go to sleep and who's there when they're asleep and getting them to fall asleep without someone there, and so forth and so on. It's not as easy a transition as you think it would be,
No.
even for a child. And when there's fear, it's a hard thing to have happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't know whether there's anything special about this situation,
Yeah.
but it's pure fear. Yeah. And it doesn't seem like medicine works. Outside influences work. It seems like what she's got to do is tune in.
Yeah. I mean, medicines can dull things and
Yeah.
block things, and
Yeah.
they don't seem like actually helping you to go through a passage. It's like she's in a passage, like the birth canal, and or the death canal for that matter. There's a sense that
Hey, death canal.
yeah,
Uh,
canal. Yeah, she's there's something to pass through, and it's excruciating
it is
at the moment.
for both of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I almost feel like there's something amazing to be learned here. I mean, this is the root lesson of life, isn't it? That we eventually let go of life, that we eventually realize we're not actually in control of something
Right.
important to us as living.
This is a major issue in her life.
Yeah.
Control. Yes.
Control, yeah. And we're not actually in control. It's more the illusion of control that we maintain. And when you come up against sleep, there's like you can't control your falling asleep.
No.
Can you? No. It's one of those things we have to learn, the kind of letting go of sleep, letting go into sleep.
Well, I think the initial lesson right now is like, okay, there's going to be something big to learn here.
There's going to be something big to learn
So
here.
let's hang on.
Let's hang on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And be present. Because I've had my own bouts of sleeplessness in my life. Nothing currently going on, but there's this kind of panic that ensues over time if it goes on for several days. Like I can't function. And I'm sure you're way past that.
Several months.
You've been doing it for months, and so you're but I mentioned there's still a kind of low-lying panic about it. How is life going to work this way? Which stimulates a certain part of the mind, and it keeps the nervous system locked in a certain way.
Yep.
So to just come back in a really firm but loving way to let's just feel what's in the body right now. And let's feel what's in the energy body, if that makes any sense. I think it will to you, Jim, from what I know about you. The energy body, which is the emotional body. Like what? Just to feel that and tap into that. And just like a child, since you're kind of in this with her anyway, to feel how it's possible to weave in the presence of another into that experience of being here now and feeling what's present right now. She could even voice it. Sometimes voice is a way to really bring you into your body.
Okay.
Where is the fear in your body? Where do you feel that? Where's the tension? What happens if you just feel it?
Okay.
All right, and deep bow to you and to Kathleen, in this passage. Very hard one. All right. So I guess we just have a couple of minutes left. Probably not enough for another speaker. Let me just pause for a moment and see if there's anything more to say. Keep practicing. And practice this week with just the sense that acceptance is meeting what is in whatever way you can in this moment. It could be meeting the immediate, like discomfort of something or your own reactivity to it. But see what that is to fully meet it. And in meeting it, to let the doer subside. Okay. That seems like a good assignment.